Diplomatic efforts continue in Eastern Europe amidst ongoing geopolitical tensions, as international bodies call for de-escalation. The United States, under President Donald Trump, has ordered a naval blockade of Venezuelan oil tankers, specifically those the U.S. has sanctioned, in an effort to choke off revenue to the Maduro government. Trump has framed this as part of a broader campaign against alleged narco-trafficking and sanctions evasion. The U.S. Coast Guard has actively intercepted and seized Venezuelan oil tankers accused of exporting crude in ways that sidestep sanctions, and is pursuing additional vessels in international waters. The U.S. has also told the United Nations it will enforce sanctions to deprive Maduro and the so-called cartel of the sons of crucial resources, arguing that oil revenue funds criminal networks and drug trafficking. These actions are part of a larger U.S. Caribbean military buildup and expanded security agreements in Latin America, which critics describe as gunboat diplomacy. Venezuela's National Assembly passed a new law imposing harsh penalties, up to 20 years in prison, on anyone seen as supporting blockades or other acts that disrupt Venezuelan commerce, signaling a direct political and legal response to U.S. pressure. President Nicolás Maduro and his government have condemned U.S. interceptions as illegal piracy and violations of international law, even taking their complaints to the UN Security Council. In reaction to the blockade, Venezuela has resorted to floating storage of crude oil in anchored tankers as onshore facilities fill up and exports are constrained. U.S. and China continue to have major economic tensions, especially over technology and trade. The U.S. has accused China of unfair practices in the semiconductor industry, claiming Beijing aims to dominate key tech sectors. Washington is preparing tariffs on Chinese chips, though their implementation has been delayed until mid-2027 to allow room for diplomatic engagement. China strongly opposes U.S. tariffs, calling them unreasonable and harmful to global supply chains. Trade ties remain deeply intertwined. Both countries depend on each other for goods, supply chains, and technology development. In simple terms, U.S. and China are economic rivals with ongoing tariff negotiations and disputes over semiconductors and supply chains. And let's not forget, as the world argues over power and borders, the planet keeps warming. What do you think? Like, share, and subscribe for global news that doesn't ignore the climate reality.